Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mark and Diana, for inviting me to present today. I will try to keep this brief to get us back on schedule, focusing on two big showpiece projects for the system today, the Cancer Institute in New Brunswick and the Newark Strong project in Newark, which is close to me because I am overseeing that one. Next slide, please. So in Newark, there's a $150 million investment into Newark Beth Israel, which has been coined as Newark Strong. The showpiece is a new glass lobby, which you see is being built as we speak. Not only constructing this, as we normally would, we've paid attention to our local and diverse spend. Next slide, please. You can see some photos from site tours with Mark and Daryl Terry, and our new board chairman in front of the lobby and an ED space, which we recently finished. So we have partnered with Turner Construction. They're our CM. They're the ones that are building the project. And we've looked at our tier 1 and tier 2 partnerships. We've also, as I mentioned, are paying close attention to our workforce diversity, as well as spending on underutilized business enterprises, UBEs, as we coin them. Those are your minority, women, veteran, and small businesses. Also in 2022, we've had some community outreach events that I've highlighted, Youth Build Mentorship. We partnered with a local school to do some repair work there. And then we also made a donation to the Child Life Team for the Children's Hospital of New Jersey. Next slide, please. So looking at the spend, we're currently in construction. We've surpassed 200,000 hours without a serious safety event, which is amazing. On a daily average, there are 140 to 160 construction workers on site. So it's quite busy at the Beth. But we've managed to spend 37% of our total spend to date on these underutilized business enterprises. I won't go through every spend, but you can see our distribution by geography and outreach. One thing to note, we have a Newark-based women-owned glass company. So all the glass that you saw going into the lobby, that is all going towards a Newark-based business. And to date, through the end of September, there's been, $6.3 million contributed to Newark-based businesses. Next slide, please. In addition to the construction spend, we target local businesses to spend money. If we're doing a meeting, we'll cater for a local business. If we need to run out and grab something, we'll go to the local Home Depot. We get our coffee from a Newark-based company. And any printing, as you can imagine, we have a lot of printing to do with drawings. We go to Newark-based printing company. So that is outside of the construction. We've spent nearly $10,000 this past year on that. Next slide, please. Going into some of the highlights outside of the construction, we partnered with an organization called Youth Build Newark. These are, I call them children. They're 16 to 24-year-olds. They are not interested in the normal career path. They're interested in going into the trades. So this seemed like a great fit. We had them come on site. We gave them a tour of the job site. We met with them. They had detailed questions. They were very focused on meeting with the actual trade workers that build the project because that's what they're looking to do. So we were able to partner them, carpenters, with people interested in carpentry, plumbers, electricians. It was a day-long event and it was a great success. And I think they got a lot out of it, as did we. Next slide, please. This past summer, we partnered with Avon Avenue School as part of our community outreach. Their playground was in dire need of repainting. Our trade partner, our subcontractor on the project, who also is a small minority business located in Mountainside, which is where one of our facilities is located, they donated the paint and supplies, and we provided the workforce to repaint their playground. Next slide, please. And this past fall, our construction team took it upon themselves to start a fundraiser amongst all the trade workers to make a donation to the Children's Hospital of New Jersey. One of the projects we're currently building is a new ICU, which is located under our PICU. So you can imagine there's been lots of disruptions and there's been a surge in pediatric volume. So this has been a fun and challenging project. So we did take it upon ourselves to put together a toy donation, and we donated nearly $600 and 100 toys to the Children's Hospital. Next slide. So another showpiece project that we're doing as an organization is the Cancer Institute in New Brunswick. Next slide, please. For this project, we've partnered with Joe Gingoli and Son, along with Devco, who is the developer in this project. A similar approach where we're focusing on our local and diverse spend, whereas in Newark, we're trying to hire Newark companies. New Brunswick is trying to focus on the New Brunswick hire and then also the Middlesex County hire. Next slide. So anyone that has not been near this site should at least take a drive past it. It's a pretty impressive ground up building going up for a new state-of-the-art facility right across the street from RWJ New Brunswick. Next slide, please. Gingoli on this project is focusing a lot more on their workforce makeup, whereas they've struggled a bit more than I have on the contract spend. To date, 35% of their workforce has been made up of underrepresented minorities and women. Next slide, please. Gingoli, like Turner, offers programs. They have a train to hire program. It's a 12-week training program. The two projects kind of talk to one another. We've been introduced to their training program here, and we've started to look at how we can implement that for 2023. And then their outreach for their spend. They have over $37 million in contracts committed to minority and women-owned businesses for the new cancer center project. In addition, over $70 million in contracts have been committed to local-based businesses in the New Brunswick and Middlesex County area. Next slide, please. So looking at their contract spend, this is a massive project. So far, current contracts is over $400 million, and they're very well exceeding the local and Middlesex spend. I have been working with them to give them some tips that I've learned for the minority, women, veteran spends, as I've had a bit more success, but it is a team effort. So hopefully we can piggyback off of one another. Next slide, please. And their workforce, they have a target of 24% minority participation, and so far they've committed 34% to that goal. Female participation, it's always a struggle with the trades. There's not a lot of females in the trades, but they're at 1% committed, and they're targeting just under 7%. They have a high local participation too. That's the New Brunswick area, as well as Middlesex County. Next slide. So you can see how the breakdown of commitment for the Cancer Institute project shakes out. Of that $405 million within the local 20-mile radius of the hospital, the new cancer center, $73 million has been committed in contracts to date. In the Middlesex County, it's $128 million, and then staying within New Jersey is $82 million. For construction, you can't always get everything in the state of New Jersey. So there is $120 million spend outside of New Jersey for the Cancer Institute. Next slide. So that is the summary. I'm sorry I rushed through that. I did try to help Diana out and get us back on schedule a bit. If anyone has any questions on more specifics of the trade partners we're working with, the strategies that we've implemented, other initiatives, or 2023 outlook, please shoot me a note in the chat or send me an email and I will respond. Thank you, everyone.